Alright, so today for our writing, we are going to be looking at our stories that we have already written, okay? So remember there was different story journal entries that we wrote down. So we're going to pick our best journal entry, okay? So the first things first, pick your best journal entry from our stories that we have been writing, okay? So pick your best journal entry. So what I want you to do right now, I need you to look through your journal and figure out which story that you are going to choose. Let's go ahead and look through our journal and see which ones we are going to use. Which one is probably the best story that will entertain your readers, okay? So think to yourself, does this interest my readers, okay? Is it exciting? Alright, so once you have found that story, give me a thumbs up, okay? Alright, because there are going to be some more things that we have to go through. We're going to go through something called the writing process, okay? Who has heard of the writing process? Raise your hand. Alright, so if you have heard of the writing process, then this should be easy for us, okay? So, we are going to do our drafting today because we've already did our writing. We pre-wrote, okay? So we're going to be drafting our stories that we have, okay? So we're going to create our rough copy of our writing. So, we're going to be doing that on lined paper, okay? But the first step that we need to do is to rehearse. Okay, so when we rehearse, we are going to talk to our partners in our group. We're going to talk to our partners in our group, and then we are going to talk about our stories, okay? So we're going to rehearse what we have written, all right? What we have written down, so we're going to rehearse it with our partners beside us, and then we're going to talk to our partners while we're doing it, okay? All right, so everybody gather your partner beside you. If you don't have a partner beside you and your group only has 3 people, you 3 can talk to each other and rehearse together. Okay? Alright? So, remember, what is our voice level? We are at a what?
Level 1.
Level 1, and we are at a whisper. Okay? So, let's go ahead and talk to our partners. Okay? Ready? Go. Rehearse your stories. Joseph, you need to be rehearsing your story with somebody.
One day I was playing Fortnite. I was playing 50% and so she said in her
I love the way I hear my kids rehearsing.
One day, me, my sister, and my little cousin played outside.
He stole my stuff. So he was running.
Talk to Curtis now. Come on, tell me then. That's fine. Go. Tell me your story or you can work with me. Alright, everybody let's hold it up. Hold it up. Alright, so now, since we have been rehearsing with our partners, let's think about, we're going to continue to rehearse in just a second, but what I want you to look out for, you need to see if their story makes sense to you, okay, as they are rehearsing and as they are reading, okay? So, if something does not make sense to you, you give suggestions as to what they can do to make it better, okay? So, that's what we're going to look at today. Let's go ahead and do that for 1 minute, okay? Let's go. Listen to some parts, okay?
I was playing at the park. Last weekend, I was running away from my I was there. So even after my job, I spent there. We got the victory royale. We got the second.
Alright, we're almost finished with this one.
I had to make it more when
Joseph, come on. You gotta talk. Stop, put your pencil down and talk. You can finish it later.
Okay. When I was playing at the park, I only got to.
One day there were 3 little girls.
Have you read it to her yet?
Yeah, I read it to her. One day there were 3 little girls and they were bullying this little girl because she wears glasses. So she went to school and she started crying because.
Alright, you gotta finish. Alright, let's hold it up really quick. Alright, hold it up. Alright, so we have done step number 1, which was rehearse. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to draft on a lined piece of paper, okay? We're going to transfer from our journals, okay? So, when we are drafting, that means we're writing something called a rough draft or a sloppy copy, correct?
Yes.
Alright, so rough draft
Sloppy copy.
or a sloppy copy. Thank you to the ones that are not making noises right now. Alright, so we got a rough draft or a sloppy copy. So we know that we need to do what? Skip what? Alright, so we need to skip our lines, okay? So let's show how this works. Let's pretend that this is our paper, okay? Let's pretend that this is our line paper. I love the way that Joseph is attentive. This group is attentive. Destiny's group is attentive and their voices are off. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's create a story. So we always know when we first start our story that we need to indent on each paragraph, okay?
Yes.
So we need to indent on each paragraph. So we're going to just pretend that we're writing something. One day during class, we heard a noise. Alright, coming from outside. Alright, so we heard the noise coming from outside, okay? We looked out the window. We looked out the window. And notice, alright, so we see how we skipped this line, right?
Yes.
Alright, so we skipping another line. So we go to the next one. So we looked out the window and noticed a fire truck at the school across the street. Alright, so now we see what we mean by skipping lines, okay? So all you're doing is transferring from your journal to your line paper, okay? You may need more than one. You can also write on the back as well, okay? So what we're going to do, remember when you are telling your story, you need to make sure you have beginning, middle, and an end, okay? So think about what happens first, okay? Alright, think about what happens next. Think about what happens after that, okay? Alright, and think about what happens at the end, okay? So we need to make sure that we know all those things, okay? So, what we're going to do right now, let's go ahead and start doing our drafting, okay? Alright, I'm going to give you a few minutes. Let's go ahead and finish working on our drafting.